sitting back and farming. I feel like that's when, you know, that's what EXTREMUM kind of wants to play against. We saw them play super well against this last game, so.
Well, they did. And yeah, the fact that we saw them play this well last game with the Troll, and yeah, Troll now having the pairing of the Magnus, it feels like if it does go down that route, which it, as you say, it feels like it probably will, because that Terrorblade again, you've got to be very prepared for this Troll to have probably more farm than this Terrorblade is going to have for most part of the mid game, unless EXTREMUM makes some slip ups and Cyber Legacy is able to have an incredibly explosive laning phase.
Yeah, pretty much. Like I don't think it's very easy for Cyber Legacy to just kind of snowball any type of their lanes. So they just have to play their lanes and, you know, just get farmed to them. The thing is that they do have like Doom, who is always going to get farmed. It's always one nice thing. Timbersaw, for the most part, in most matchups, he should get some good farm, and I'm not seeing too much magic damage that kind of just pushes him out at level 3 or 4 or 5. So I do see Blizzy having a better time, which all these things will in turn make space for Kuman.
Let's see how much of a game Blizzy can have this time around. His last game was rough for him on the offlane silencer. Definitely set up though to have what should be a much better time really on the Timbersaw. Just yeah, overall the fact that Cyber Legacy, they do have
remember when he was playing and he literally played like Pugna offlane every game and they were smashing his Vici when he was playing. There was times where it can threaten so much if you do a good lane with it.
Yeah, when sort of the meta isn't up for Kuman, it's going to be rather hard for him to step up to the wave right against these two.
Absolutely, and Clockwork also. Like if Clockwork gets you inside of Cogs, the Decrepify 5 plus battery assault and lane is also insanely strong. There's some good kill threat. And it's not super strong lane with someone like a Phoenix at your side here, as Bellar versus Slayer. He actually gets the battery assault immediately.
Begins.
Gonna do some nice harassment here.
See around the runes. As it's gonna be with a 3 going the way of EXTREMUM. Find the one on his own half, but no, we'll see. We'll get a sort of a good sort of example of how this is going to play out. I feel sort of, you know, before the 10-minute mark. You know, last game at 10 minutes, it did already look pretty rough and hard for Cyber Legacy to come back in. So we'll see if this time round it doesn't start to fall apart that early.
Yeah, let's see how they do in bottom. We'll see Cyber Legacy actually get a perfect block bottom. They got their range creep in front, so Blizzy should be able to get the lane pushing into his favor. Getting some good harassment. I think he should be just fine. And we'll see Big this time around. I'm going to be a little bit more critical of him because I feel like last game he was particularly useless on the Tiny, but he could have actually done quite a bit if he moved around the lane. So we'll see what he does this time around. Can't really threaten the bottom lane, but no, he can definitely help out Blizzy and mess with the Trolls, you know, mess with last hits by pulling waves and stuff, as we see. G actually gets the catch. I was going to say,
nice move for G. I didn't think that'd be in range, but it was.
It didn't look like it.
Yeah, I mean, interesting to see. You know, I think a lot of the times we are having teams going for that sort of creep pull, but to the point that if your enemy does do it even relatively close, the actual aggro range of that camp is big enough to drag back a half of the way.
That actually hurts.
Yeah.
Cyber Legacy much more than it helps, as it's going to be nearly level 2, or it is level 2, almost 2.5 on the Troll. And Big has to be careful. They're still level 1, so they're quite weak in this bottom lane right now. They're going to block the hard camp though with that sentry ward right away, as G is going to get level 2 soon.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Lost that will secure at least the big one. The elbow smash if Cyber Legacy for Big Num. Top lane, we'll start to really see the pressure up from EXTREMUM once they do have level 2 on the clock, and during this window where Kuman is not farming with the meta. Sure, the illusion still will help him in the sense that battery assault is going to be less of a threat.
Yeah. He still looks to be getting pretty good farm. They're able to pull back the lane over and over again too, Slayer. So looks like the Kuman should be pretty good top, as they haven't gotten too much from Malik at the start. Already much better signs here for Cyber Legacy. Last game it was already a Pangle level 3.
And what's sort of going to be the play down bottom once the Blizzy's Timber hits like the level 3 and he's very hard to kill? Do you still need to stick around as the Enchantress to keep the Trolls safe, or is this going to be a position where Nefrit can be left to solo lane and get that boost of XP?
You don't ever just leave the lane though as an Enchantress. I think G can just play more around like stacking and pulling, just favoring his levels.
No!
And he will see that side camp is blocked top. Slayer is found out here. He does have the dive.
Big Num's coming with a rotation though, so that they are going to have the three of them dive out from Slayer. Will save him, and Big Num with that move, he's in with the combo onto Malik, and will be able to help them get the kill. So,
very nice.
Very nicely done. And I mean, I guess in terms of that bottom lane, it is Blizzy, because he is this level 3 with the 2 points to the reactive. Big Num's very, very open to make these moves. He's not needed to tool down bottom.
Yeah, and this is what I was just saying. Like, I'm going to be much more critical with his move. Perfect move there. I think setting up for a tri-lane when you have TB, any of these type of rotations is just always perfect, especially versus someone fragile like Pugna. I think this is what he should have done the last game, right? They had the Oracle TB. If he was tiny making rotations, they could have shut down the Pango. So definitely liking what he's doing here. He's also checking the 4-minute rune. And it's going to actually force Mello back to base. He's aware of this. So big moves already from Cyber Legacy, a lot more time to life. Big Num is already having a much better game.
Yeah, and in terms of sort of farm on the side lanes, it's, both off-laners off to a bit of a slower start.
Yeah, definitely.
Everything else very close. I mean, both carries a free farm.
Yeah. He's actually making the move, so he's doing what you were saying. He's just going to actually leave the troll alone. I thought he might just get more levels, but he did do the pull once, and then he just instantly rotates.
Kuman, he's getting dove upon here. TP's going to be coming in. Big Num's over to try and help out. Kuman pulling low to the battery assault, but not quite low enough to go down. G, can he get in range for a hit? He can't.
His centaur creep got stuck by creeps behind the tower. He couldn't close the gap.
They might still get something out of this, though. Slayer. Very, very low hit. Malik get in for one final blast. Hasn't quite got the mana, so Slayer will live.
Mid. Magical gets skewered under tower.
Enough damage here, though. Shockwave again in a few seconds. It is just the level 1, but the slow might do it. Big Num's around. He's got the avalanche. Shockwave up in a second, but Magical too far away.
Balor's here, though.
Can he get the deny to the creeps? He cannot. Pogs are out. He's trapped away from running, as they will get him at the end of the day. EXTREMUM able to make that play, as you say, thanks to Melo grabbing him underneath the tower, skewer him, forcing Magical into a bit of an awkward spot.
The awkward spot actually started from Magical himself. He actually was contesting the small camp of Mello, just farming the lane. So he's actually in range of just getting skewered in the most awful position. Like, if he's in lane, he wouldn't get skewered that far back, but he actually... I'm confused why he went to contest there versus the mag, too. I thought he could just, like, as Dooms, most of the time we see them just, they're hard farmers. He just plays his own farm game rather than any type of pressure. A little bit weird to see Magical do that.
No, yeah, but see, well... Now,
the Scorched Earth, though, goes off. No matter for skewer.
No, yeah, I was going to say, he didn't do the mash there, Mello. They do still manage to get him in the cogs, but yeah, Magical is not going down here. Yeah, he just didn't do the mash. You've got to be careful on Mag, right? This hero's mana pool is atrocious. So you're pretty much going to be full mana to make sure you can get away with the full combo. And yeah, Mello couldn't. He was short of a skewer there.
He tried to so he RP'd while bottling, but the Scorched Earth got off. So the Scorched Earth cancels the bottle tick because he would have had the mana to skewer him back. So it was close. It was very close.
All right. I mean, I guess that's sort of the big brain play you're trying for then, because, you know, maybe the Doom's done the maths on your mana. He's like, oh, he hasn't got mana for the combo. He's not going to go for it. And then you do. You've got a bold charge, but he gets...
Kuman.
So maybe.
With the Enchanted Illusion, beating him up plus the Clockwork.
And he's for sure. That's big moves there from the supports. Vela and G able to get Kuman alone.
That is not expected. Look, these two heroes killing a TB in the jungle like that, too. I love how he just takes over the TB illusion. It hits really hard with the plus 30 damage.
Yeah, and we are seeing, you know, bottom lane, Nefrit, despite being left alone, he was able to get a whole lot out of it. 51 CS, and now with this power, he's going to hit top. He's ready to try and fight into the enemy side as Malik. There's diving in. He's going to instantly get zoomed by Magical, but EXTREMUM, they've got the back for the troll. Big Num, avalanche out to the side, will toss away Nefrit. And he's denied to get the deny! Oh no! I mean, that could... Oh no! Tries to toss to get the kill, but it ends up setting up Nefrit for the deny.
Dire's middle
those are literally the things that you couldn't even predict that in a million years.
No.
Oh my god.
Oh dear.
Poor Big Num.
I mean, he was dead anyway to the Doom. There was no need for the toss damage, but I guess maybe there was someone else by that could have could have denied him, so trying to get that burst onto him to secure it.
Yeah. And now they're actually
there we
rotating the
go.
lanes, too. So now it's a Pugna bottom versus Timbersaw, which, well, Malik hits level 6. He's great versus Timber. If Blizzy tries to hard commit, he's just going to get drained. Oh, wait, he didn't even skill life drain.
Is that standard at the 6 for an offlane Pugna? No. Okay.
I think
Maybe
he was
it's-
trying to use it and maybe put a point in it as he was dropping it. I'm not sure. That's really weird.
You don't see
He
that
said
on Pugnas.
sorry. I'm pretty sure he made a mistake.
All right, well, he's going to have to pick up a second level down. He's going to have some pressure on him. There's 3 heroes looking for Malik down bottom.
This might get him killed, not having life drain.
Diving in.
Dire's top
And he's going to decrepify, gets the blast out, but
Radiant's
indeed
middle
he's
tower
pop.
is under attack.
No way to sort of stand and at least get some sort of self-sustain. As Vella's come in. Not much you can do to stop Blizzy. He's got to back away.
Attack.
As will be the tower trade. Cyber Legacy taking that tier 1 down bottom, of course. Top taken out.
Radiant's bottom tower.
So 9 minutes in, 2 for 2. Definitely for Cyber Legacy a much better start than what they had from game 1.
Yeah, and they have much easier ways to just start fights. You know, Magical can literally just run in and different people.
Dire's
Just
middle
gonna
tower
mix it
is
from
under
G.
attack.
Very, very close to going down, but he's able to TP away. Now, and we'll really see sort of how the carries match up against one another now. Kuman is a Terrorblade. He's going to have great farm, just throwing the camps with the speed of the illusions and the meta. And the free, he's going to have this max level in power being handed over by Melo.
I want to see the same troll build as last game, though. Yasha,
Yasha
BKB, into Bastion. I think that's always the best build when you're playing versus Terrorblade.
Actually, yeah, I mean, against this whole lineup, really, the Timber, the Tiny, and the Phoenix, but in particular, heroes that BKB is going to be massive against.
It just allows you to play at a little bit of a faster pace, because you know TB, Terrorblade's going to stall his as long as possible, so you're...
To going down, but Nefret's in and gets that. I mean, yeah, it was definitely John. Yeah, there wasn't anyone else nearby. There was even the damage of the Sunray coming in. Like he was dead. There was no chance of him being denied until that helpful toss came in.
Coin of the realm.
A little bit of farming on both sides here. Where's the tome? I imagine it's coming out on the courier soon. Phoenix about to hit 6. He does not have the tome coming out, so okay, he hit 6 up the mid wave, so he just gets it.
All right, let's see what they can make with this smoke. Vela and Melo targets underneath this ward. Vella's going to step in. We'll start to dispel some of this action coming in as they keep their eyes on Doom. This might be enough for Melo to get out. In fact, he's just going to drop the RP and get this Tiny underneath the tower. Puts a stop to the play and results in them being the ones to get the kill. Then took the hook shot to Slayer. Slayer is in trouble. He has got the dive. He's going to pop the egg. A few hits will take it down. Doom's going to be used, but the egg is taken out. Malik's here with the backup. As Melo, he's going to be fine. The Doom damage will not be enough to kill this Magnus. As now Magical has to be the one to run away. G's TP'd over towards the mid tier 1 to try and catch Magical off the retreat. They're going to slow him. They've got enough burst. And with the cogs down, pushing him back over towards Malik. Magical finally uses the Infernal Blade, but isn't soon enough to stop the life drain from killing him. As Magical is dead, EXTREMUM there with a big reaction to that smoke move from Cyber Legacy, and it just sort of heads up plays fast. Move from Melo, no hesitation. He sees them trying to do something, just RPing the Tiny, getting him under the tower, knowing that if he takes away one part of their move, the rest of his team, EXTREMUM, are going to be able to come in and overrun the rest of them.
Yeah, as soon as Clockwork breaks that smoke movement, I feel like Cyber Legacy forced it extremely hard after that. You see Clockwork, I feel like right there, you're like, oh god, we have to get out. There's already 2 or 3 heroes, you're right around it. Easy teleport access.
Gonna go in onto Malik. Malik just standing his ground, life drain and Blizzy. Magical has been able to close in with the Infernal Blade onto Malik. Malik turns, but a big crit comes through from Magical. Finishes him off. Fella's in on the back lines, does get Slayer in return. They do manage to get that Pugna. Yeah, big hits from Magical. Taking him out.
Good thing he crits there. I think the life drain would have continued to putting him over otherwise. Very fortunate for them to be able to get that as top. Nefret is looking to get involved with a medallion on G. They kill Bignum pretty quick.
Comes into the trees though. They can find him. I'm seeing the vision of him, keeping the track off with this Alpha Wolf on the front. Sort of similar play out to what we saw for last game at this stage, but Bignum is just trying to find space to get that Blink Dagger. but EXTREMUM are doing everything they can to slow it down.
Yeah, it is still similar that they don't have good initiating tools until that blink comes out. Their initiation is just walking at them right now with Doom as well as the Timbersaw, so it's a little bit awkward. So really trying to finish down, but he's very slow on it again.
Alec. On him again on mid. Not going to be any help for him. He's under the tower. He's going to turn. Supernova's going to be used to secure this one. RP onto the Doom melee, trying to take out the egg, but he's not going to be able to do so because Bignum's in with the avalanche.
Radiant's
EXTREMUM sort of jumping the gun a little bit, trying to get that fight going, but they just didn't have enough power to do so. They dive in, RPing under the egg. I mean, that's always a massive risk because there wasn't anyone else to help hit that Supernova.
No, and now Warlord, he walks into Magical too. He's getting burned, but not
Rick's going to come in as the Doom's down. They do still manage to find the root on Magical, but as soon as he's doomed, the Fritz trying to escape. Cyber Legacy, they're chasing him down. The damage, it's almost certainly going to be done to any save for this Troll. There is not, as their Frit goes down. Bella trying to escape with the Cogs. The Cogs push Magical off to the side, but Slayer staying on top. Another toss comes in as EXTREMUM. He cannot run from this. Blizzy finishes him off with the Chakram. Massive plays here from Cyber Legacy as EXTREMUM just dying one by one there in that attempt to push them off the town. It might not be over yet, G. Will hold his ground. The attendance enough to keep him safe. But big plays there for Cyber Legacy with some sort of the best showing we've seen from them in this series so far, getting a solid win and a team fight underneath their belts.
Yeah, they brought all 5 heroes, and this is what we're talking about, how they don't have forms of initiation, but they can walk. And they literally just walked into them, kind of forced EXTREMUM to make their own mistakes with this RP, with them just trying to pick this fight. Nicely done there by Cyber Legacy as bringing themselves back. Kuman takes the lead. And they get that big kill on the Troll. Melo's going to be a little more careful with those skew RPs. I think because he had the Echo Saber, he felt like he could kill the egg. But level 1 egg is just a little bit stronger than it used to be now.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
What?
They can hold on to this tier 1 mid. Magical and Slayer are around.
They are 100 gold for Bignum's Blink Dagger now off of all that too, which is pretty massive. This toss back. Pugna's always going to be kind of walking up. Definitely be huge for Bignum when he has that. They can look to initiate fights a lot easier, but now he's been spotted.
They got the jump. Dragonfly still alive for now, but we'll finish him off with the impetus. Trying to chase down Bella. This ward doing some damage against the side of Cyber Legacy. Magical Bull trying to take it out.
Bella actually lives.
Gets away with it. They just didn't have quite enough to take him out. And bear in mind, he's very close to having the Meteor Hammer complete on clock. That Ring of Health done. And the hammer will be online, so a very nice item, specifically as well when you're playing with the Magnus, having some AoE follow-up to that RP that's just going to make it even more potent.
Yeah, most of the time I'm pretty cool with this type of items. If you don't feel like you need something else, you want some farming item, way to push out lanes and also to contribute in fights.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Malik, G, looking to still be aggressive up top here on the Slayer. But there's a response.
He's going to have to come out. Might just get them the kill on Malik. He's burning down low. They're trying to get Malik out to the side. G giving him some hits for the Nature's Attendants, but the tosses it. It's there. Bignum throwing Blizzy forward to get one, and now maybe with the catch and set up for another. Yule Scepter onto G as they block him off. The Legacy looking way more hopeful here in this game 2 now compared to what we saw from them in game 1. Some excellent moves being made, and as you say, with the Blink Dagger done on Bignum, EXTREMUM's got to watch out. They're going to be playing very active around the map and making a lot of space for Kuman's Terrorblade.
Yeah, and Blink on the Doom too. Magical having his own. They have a lot of different ways to start fights and so many different forms of team fight. EXTREMUM just to be a little bit more careful here in these next few moments, but maybe this will be something that allows them to fight a little easier. BKB is finished on the Troll.
They've got sort of 2 big items themselves. The BKB on the Troll and the Blink Dagger
on Mag.
It's done on Melo. So they themselves, by the looks of it, we might still be trying to set up something mid. Start poking at Blizzy.
There's no egg still.
A little short. That's going to give Blizzy the chance to use up Bella and get out there with the Timber Chain. Not quite able to find that perfect angle around the creeps fella.
I do think they'd like to force something though. Egg is still on cooldown for a little bit that he used top. Like you said, that blink timing on the Magnus. Definitely want to find either Magical or Kuman. Those would be the big ones. Kuman's a very, very hard target to find, though. Still not uncomfortable with just farming, though, either, right? The Troll plus that Magnus are always fun with just, even if the game does get a little bit more of a farm sense.
Yeah, it's going to be close, though, if they do go that route, right? Because you have the Terrorblade. No, Kuman's going to have no trouble keeping up farm, and Magical is the Doom. He's always going to be making money.
Yeah, this is why they want to look for the smoke. They're going to find the Phoenix Slayer. Cancels the TP. That TP actually looks like it.
And now on top lane, they've managed to... He's been isolated. He's going to try and run over the rest of his team, and Malik is able to keep him fine. So he'll be safe. Now with a hook shot in over towards Magical. Magical stuck in the cogs. He'll go down with the control from Vela with that follow-up Meteor Hammer. So they are able to get up and save Nefrit. I mean, obviously, Cyber Legacy knew that move was being made onto Slayer. They still commit with the Doom. I guess they just felt that they would be able to burst Nefrit before EXTREMUM are able to make it through the jungle.
Radiant's bottom tower.
Yeah, but with just the two of them, like, he is still fairly tanky. That was a pretty an ambitious move when his whole team was connecting. You saw it. Slayer did spot it all out. And no Doom.
They do have the Supernova.
They do.
See what they can do here. Pinged on him with a big avalanche. The Supernova onto the side, but it's going to immediately get taken out by EXTREMUM. The egg's gone. Kuman trying to take down Vela, but the defense by up and up. Roshan goes down. EXTREMUM, they didn't get the hit on it, but they do still get the Aegis. As Nefrit won't even lose it. He'll be fine. So Cyber Legacy, they're able to snipe the kill. Not taking that Aegis away from the Troll. Nefrit will come out with that already. They're hunting for more EXTREMUM. Straight in onto Kuman. The RP only onto Bignum, though. As Bignum didn't mean that Kuman was held to the side. Bella, with that setup, Kuman's got to be careful. Magical, it's a big 3-man hoop stomp, but not enough damage to kill them, even with the Infernal Blade. EXTREMUM taking a bit of a hit from Cyber Legacy, but not enough to actually cause them any casualties as everybody gets out alive.
At least Kuman's able to get out. That was very scary for him for a second if he did get connected to that RP. And yeah, they get away with that, Roche. That was huge. I think Blizzy tried to use the Troll there for him, but he was still BKB'd. The Troll was able to get last hit. Get that. And very heads-up play by EXTREMUM. No hesitation when they know that these ults are being used. And yeah, Egg in a pretty unfavorable position, right in between the entire team of EXTREMUM.
The level 1 egg, for as much power as it has against, sort of the 1 or 2 heroes, but when in a team fight, level 1 egg is still going to feel pretty vulnerable.
Especially until a BKB Troll who can just kind of kill it on his own.
A few hundred away from having the recipe. Still though, Kuman, the richer of the two, and going for that half head. Okay.
Who's doing the disassemble this time versus the Troll? All right. G.
Trying to burst him. It is a lot of magical damage, but the Glimmer Cape actually going to get him off to the side. G's going to walk away now. Bella's in with the counterplay. Straight in. They take out the Phoenix Slayers down before he can even pop the ult. Blizzy, the four of them around him. Do they have enough control for him? They're going to need a room from the... He doesn't find it on the first hit, so Blizzy's out to the side. Alex still jumping forward, just continuing to push this Timber back with this incredible amount of magical damage. The Blizzy is going to have to reset for a little bit.
Oh, it goes for the blink on Malik too. I like that quite a bit here. He can do so many different things with this Pugna, either aggressive decrypt, aggressive life drains, or defensive. He can save his and bail out his buddies out of quite a bit of situations from the Doom. Still very close. But when you're very close, and you do you at least have your Phoenix and Doom with your Terrorblade, you do have a Timbersaw. So there is some signs of Cyber Legacy that they don't really like going to the later stages, but because of this Phoenix, because of this Doom, because of this TB, they're always going to have a fighting chance. A little bit of a window though for EXTREMUM as they have a big power spike here again with this basher on the Troll.
Kuman's got to be very careful heading into this triangle area. EXTREMUM are very well set up.
Doubting them though with this illusion. We will see. Okay, Cyber Legacy, they're looking to smoke. Phoenix is still only he's level 11, so he's very short to have that level 2 egg. Let's see the wrapper.
Big move here.
Just scouting everyone though with these rockets and everything, and now Nefert's just in with the BKB.
He's just going to put the BKB straight away. He's trying to get a lockdown onto Kuman. Kuman getting the illusions out, and that will cause Nefrit to not be able to find the real target straight away. He's over with Blizzy. Nefrit, he's still alive, finally gets first down. It's been used on melee, so no chance for an RP on this fight. Bingham coming in with the toss avalanche combo as they're going to lose this Magnus by the looks of it, and he's down and out. They get the one, and now they can try and chase for more of the illusions. Slowing down Bella. Bella off to the side to push Bingham away, but they've lost 3 on EXTREMUM. That make that forward. Bella going down with the jump forward onto Nefrit. They're going to be able to take down this troll. He's surrounded by the entirety of Cyber Legacy. As Cyber Legacy, they're able to team wipe EXTREMUM without losing anybody themselves.
Probably the most fortunate place for Cyber Legacy to fight, and EXTREMUM forces it insanely hard with the Troll Warlord. I think he's trying to force so that the Magnus has a chance to initiate, but that's not a great positioning there. It actually just gets handed to Cyber Legacy, I feel. The Kuma just has to pop meta and stand still and just attack. And once they get the Doom on the Magnus, the fight is over. A little bit weird by EXTREMUM, but Cyber Legacy, they just held their ground in a perfect position from the fight. They still have egg. They didn't even have to use it there.
Yeah. It's always going to be that risk of fighting into such a farm Turboblade. You've got to be careful about how you go about it. In EXTREMUM, they were definitely a little bit carefree of the way they sort of approached that one. I mean, they were in this position for a good 30 seconds or so. You know, Cyber Legacy very aware of them beating around. Bottom lane. Tried to go in on Slayer. Blizzy's around, and he's going to look to chase this out. He's got a haste rune as well, so no trouble when it comes to keeping on top of this clockwork. There is pretty tanky, but not tanky enough to withstand this jump. As another death on EXTREMUM. 6k lead now for Cyber Legacy off the back of that whole last fight. They're in position to start taking these tier 2 towers. EXTREMUM can't afford to make that sort of mistake yet.
Is under attack.
No, it's quite a few in a row. That's what it feels like that they've done in this game. They're just forcing the issue a little bit too hard for this Cyber Legacy and getting punished. They're setting up on bottom for Kuman.
Radiant's bottom tower has
He's able to finish the tower, and the Fritz come in. Want to do this towards the Terrorblade. 10 seconds until Vela's back in.
They know there's no Doom, but they can't actually chase out. And Slayer's actually keeping top to try to get these bounty runes before EXTREMUM is able to set up for them. They might be able to get, they're going to be able to get at least 3. Big moves by Cyber Legacy.
Lead. Definitely most apparent between the two carries. Nefrit a serious amount behind of this Terrorblade. You know, 3k difference. Kuman is going to be in a pretty much an item ahead or nearing that. Going for the Skadi next. I mean, with this anti-halberd Skadi, this will be a very hard hero to take down. I mean, it's illusions as well, as we saw in that last fight. You know, they've got to make sure that Nefrit has this Empower on him. Otherwise, he doesn't stand any sort of chance against the Terrorblade's army.
Yeah. No Vlads either, it seems like, on his team. I want to see G building that one up. He's going for Holy Locket this game. I really want him to have a Vlads for this troll. So he's not just fully reliant on the battle trance. These next few moments to toss back. Oh, whoa, weird toss says it's on the Icarus diving Phoenix. Next, she ends up tossing him in place.
She had to easily ward that off. Still, Cyber Legacy, they know they're strong. They can push with this Terrorblade.
Balls up. Everything is at the ready. Their ulti. They just have to get their ultis in a decent positioning there. There's just a lot of ways now they have to mess with them on Cyber Legacy. Halberds, Yules, etc. Malik.
He's looking in a lot of trouble there, Malik.
One
more.
Now maybe more, G. Blizzy's found it.
Dire's top
G is pretty tanky, but some good body blocks will do it. Holding in range of the Who Stomp. Got Kuman over as well, offering enough punch to take down G. This is starting to look pretty rough from EXTREMUM, and they're going to need to come out with some big plays, some big RPs, because without it at this stage, they've just hemorrhaged too many kills. Cyber Legacy are just sweeping ahead, and by quite a lead now, 9k up. This Terrorblade, Kuman, the Skadi's going to be there with the next set of creeps. And they've still got tier 1s to take up top. They just don't have so many items on this Terrorblade right now compared to, for example, you know, Nefrit's Troll. It's just, this Troll does not threaten the Terrorblade at all right now.
Yeah, and they scale super hard. Phoenix, probably the hardest scaling support hero in the game. Same thing with the Doom. Doom scales super hard. They're in such a comfortable position here with their draft. And with a farmed Kuman is 2-1-4. Scotty now finished up. Brawl Ball plus Dragonlance. He's going to be hitting them from a mile away. Yeah, Extremum, they need some very fortunate RP to come in this game to try to salvage things. They're going to look for it here with this SNY finished up on Nefert. He's level 18 as well. Same thing for Mello. See what they're able to find. They need some type of better initiations, as it's been a little unfortunate for them the last couple times. But we do see Cyber Legacy's aware. All backing up for Slayer. He's the only one that's at risk in his position of dying, as well as Bignum now.
Just require Velas to find the hook shot there.
Yeah. And it's a little, and now it's too close to the triangle, so they don't want to come in.
This is a little risky. Yeah, he doesn't want to lead in on that at all.
No. And now Meta's going to be coming back up. 40 seconds. They couldn't take advantage of the fact that it was on CD. They still do. They still do have 40 seconds. So let's see what they try to really force here. It looks like they're just trying to find anything here, any type of fight.
Yeah, but I mean, you're right. Now it's definitely the risky point. They're going to go for the Roche move. I mean, they do it quick. They do it quickly and safely with the troll. This is going to be scouted out. Yeah, they're going to know. Cyber Legacy's going to head straight over on this one. The Fritz still holding his ground, trying to finish his Magical's in. He's able to drop down, but the BKB was out in time. He's trying to get out the side. Can they keep him alive? The RP comes out. The Fritz, he's still running from this. He's terrified. As he does not want any part of it whilst he's doomed. The Doom will now come to an end. Magical on the height and the stop. The Fritz, he's holding his ground because he's still got the ult to rely on. He get burnt down low by the Infernal Blade. This is enough to kill him. Kuman's in. Is there any way for them to reinitiate onto this? Vela stepping over, no hook shot for 20 seconds. He's trying to get close to the pit, but Cyber Legacy, they're able to finish it. Aegis and Cheese going the way of Cyber Legacy, as now they're more than prepared to take a fight. Extremum will get the skill out onto the turtle, but it's lost Vela. Blizzy on the front lines finally falls as the ult comes out from the front. He's running down Magical, but this damage from Kuman is going to be too much for this troll to deal with. The Kuman bleeding up. They do lose a couple in Cyber Legacy, but without a doubt, another great fight for them against Extremum. Coming out on top, getting the Aegis and Cheese. Kuman stopped both of them, as well as getting the kill on Roche. The lead just continues to grow.
Kuman just getting all the space in the world. With these frontliners, they cannot get this Terrorblade at all. And the way the fight kicks off too, Magical. He doesn't care. Just blink, gets the Doom on the Troll. Troll has to run away. They have to use RP to just run away and reset the fight. They can only really get kills on the supports. Huge fight for Cyber Legacy. As yeah, this Kuman Terrorblade.
Radiant's top tower
shredding
is under attack.
I mean, this is why they keep picking it, because they do have the games. If they can sort of get through that rough spot of the early game and just make sure that they don't sort of collapse in the first 25 minutes, they can rely on Kuman to have been hitting the creeps and turning up at the right times, and this game he's done exactly that. 4-1-6, 400 CS here at 30 minutes in, and he's just a couple hundred off the Daedalus. So this Terrorblade a huge issue to the point where if you're going to want to kill him, it's probably going to have to be deep in your base underneath the tier 4s. You've got to look towards this Magnus to make big skewers. He is very close to level 20, so we'll soon have that additional range. Really just feel that up until the point where Cyber Legacy is pushing the base, there's going to be very little opportunities where Extremum's actually going to be able to tackle them outside in the map whilst they're 15k down.
Yeah, and this Phoenix too, like Phoenix is almost level 18, so fighting outside the base just gets way harder. This egg is going to become pretty impossible to kill. So yeah, I agree. They're going to have to hope for either some big number advantage fights outside of the base or just defend high ground. Because this Troll, he still needs quite a bit more to really be this king. We see the SNY, it helps a little bit, but having no life steal, having no way to turn with the Doom, screwed.
Far too far out over there by the river, nobody else around. And they're just going to instantly smoke up. They know that as soon as they take one hero down, the map is a very scary place for Extremum. He's got to think about how long he stays out here.
Dire's top tower.
The Magical ping right away. He's on the hunt. He knows. I mean, if he gets the Doom on him, he's just dead.
And he's going to TP out. Nefret, he's farming by this tier 2. Uh-oh. This is...
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
See ya. Yeah, he should have got out when Vela sort of said goodbye on the clock. That was always a risky place to remain standing. especially when you're entirely alone.
They're going to try some play.
They're just getting so much, with just the two of them. Blizzy just on the front, Kuman hitting the racks. They cannot push them off. The mid rack's gone and now over towards the bottom. They're just going to continue to do this. They might even need to consider buying back from the troll.
He didn't take the skewer talent. He took the HP.
No. Wait, no.
Yeah.
Oh, that's just disappointing. I'm disappointed. Why would you not take the skewer talent when you're losing your barracks? It's literally the only way you turn the game, I feel. That 350 HP, who cares? You've got to try for the bouncing skewers.
Much stronger Cyber Legacy this time around. Claiming these 2 racks and looking much more comfortable with this draft with more natural frontliners. Feels like it's much better answer than having poor Kuman be a squishy Terrorblade with no one guarding him in the front. So this plan is working much better, executing much better. And EXTREMUM, this time around, showing a lot of weaknesses. They've walked into a lot of these fights and kind of forced them.
They did. It sort of was all going all right until they had that moment where they were just sat in the triangle of Cyber Legacy's half of the map, and Cyber Legacy were more than happy to take the fight that was handed to them.
Yeah.
And at this point, I mean, they're going to try and come out with the smoke. It's going to be very hard to pull off. There's still an Aegis on the Terrorblade. And they haven't really got their next big major items done. You know, Melo's holding us 3,500. He hasn't got the AC. Not invested in it. And the Fritty's got a Javelin, but nowhere near the rest of the MKB done. They're still trying to make something happen. This seems
20
very
seconds
risky.
still on Aegis.
Let's see if they can do it onto Kuman. They're focusing him, but Kuman's able to turn. They do manage to get 3 of them in. Magical jumps over to Fritz. Able to get the ult off. Kuman will go down. The Aegis was still there long enough for him to come back with the second line. They kill off the Phoenix. And then try for this Timbersaw. He's up with the Lotus. And now the Frit. He's vulnerable. He's surrounded. The Frit goes down. Stuart from Melo only onto the illusions. Blizzy and Kuman surrounding G. And then they're going to call it. Yeah, that was sort of just the final hurrah that EXTREMUM smoke out. It was very risky. They felt that was all they had left. They felt that was all they could try and play for.